Alright, guys. Manchester City have just beaten Real Madrid by 4 goals to 3 in an absolute thriller of a Champions League semi-final. And I don't know why, but over the past few years, it feels like we've had quite a few boring Champions League finals. Like, obviously, the one in 2019 as a Liverpool fan, I didn't find it that boring because, my team won. But the past couple, Bayern Munich beating PSG 1-0, that was a forgettable one. The one last season, Chelsea Man City, wasn't as bad, but it still wasn't a vintage final, was it? Whereas the semi-finals, it just feels like we've had so many great semi-finals over the past few years. There was the 2019 season where we had Tottenham Ajax and Liverpool Barcelona. Last season we had a couple of good ones as well. We had Man City PSG, that was a good semi-final, and Chelsea Real Madrid as well. The year before that, the year before that wasn't great either, but that was the COVID one, wasn't it? So that was terrible. But anyway, into this game, City. I mean, after 11 minutes, I said this is tie over really to my dad, and I mean I was wrong, but at that point I just couldn't see any way Real Madrid were going to be able to cope with City's attack, because Real Madrid tonight were defensively poor. Like, City could have scored a couple more if they'd have been more on it in the finishing department. The first goal, really well taken, header by De Bruyne. It does take a slight nick off Carvajal as it hits his head, so that definitely helped. Jesus made it 2 after 11 minutes. And then Real Madrid just decided to wake up all of a sudden. I mean, it was 11 minutes and 2 goals too late. But they did manage to pull one back through Karim Benzema before half-time. And, I mean, there is only one striker in world football who scores that chance right now, and it is Benzema. Crossed in by Ferland Mendy, I think it was. And just superb volley by Benzema. He doesn't need, like, the power's on the ball on the cross. All he has to do is direct it with his weaker foot, and he does so perfectly. It was a superb goal, and yeah, really, really well taken. And that was pretty much it till half time. And then at half time, David Alaba had to go off for Real Madrid, and it felt a lot like he was the one who was holding it all together defensively for Real Madrid. So when he went off, I thought, oh, they're in trouble here, because Nacho, who came on for him, he's not one of the best defenders in the world, but he isn't horrendous. Like, he's 6 or 7 out of 10 backup centre back. But the one who I thought had a really bad game in defence was Eder Militao. He was just constantly out of position, constantly making rash decisions, and he was lucky in the end that it didn't cost Real Madrid big time. Like, obviously they still conceded 4, but down to Benzema and Vinicius, and I mean Vinicius scored to make it 3-2 after Phil Foden put City back 2 goals in front. The turn on Fernandinho was just sublime. Like, Fernandinho, he's 36 now. He hasn't got the legs to deal with Vinicius. And you can see why Pep wanted to play John Stones for as long as possible before he had to go off with injury. Because Fernandinho just hasn't got the legs anymore to play fullback, which is, I mean, it's a position he's never played before to start with anyway. And Vinicius still had a lot to do. He had to run half the pitch with the ball, and he managed to just about get there before Rodri could tackle him and slot the ball past Ederson. There was a terrific goal line clearance as well from Danny Carvajal to deny Phil Foden just after Riyad Mahrez hit the post. It was quite a lot of it was down to luck. I think Foden, the ball's come at him quite quick, so he's just focusing on trying to get it on target. He's just unlucky that it hits Carvajal. But yeah, Foden's header as well. It wasn't great from Real Madrid again. Like someone should be picking him up ideally. Like he shouldn't have that much time and space in the box to have a free header, and he had to score it, didn't he? Really. And yeah, when it was 3-2, Bernardo Silva managed to restore Man City's 2-goal advantage once again with a brilliant finish. The referee did quite well to play an advantage, I thought. Zinchenko was clearly fouled, and you see on the replay, the referee just goes to blow his whistle. He has his whistle in his mouth, but he obviously doesn't blow because none of the players stop. And it is superbly taken. Like Bernardo Silva takes when the keeper least expects it, because Courtois doesn't move. And then you're thinking, okay, that might just be enough to kill Real Madrid. But then City give away a silly penalty. Aymeric Laporte has his hand in the air. Now, don't get me wrong, it's one of them where it's unfortunate. It's come off his head and then hit his hand. And it is a penalty by the rules. But at the same time, I thought it was a bit harsh for the referee to book Laporte, because there's no intention for Laporte to handball it. It is still a penalty, but it's a bit harsh to give him a yellow for it. And I mean, the penalty though from Benzema, unbelievable. To have the balls to do that in a Champions League semi-final when your team are desperate for a goal is just ridiculous. And I think, by the way, Real Madrid celebrated that third goal, which, I mean, when they scored it, they were still a goal down, finished 4-3. I think it says a lot about what they wanted from this game. Like, if you'd have offered them a 1-goal deficit before the start of the game tonight, I think they probably would take it. And obviously, the return fixture against against Man City at the Bernabeu, they'll obviously try and win that and overturn it and get to the final. And they have done it on one occasion this season against PSG in the last 16, so they'll be hopeful they can do it again. And if Benzema's on form, you can never put it past him to take his team through. Because I mean, the way he sort of, I don't like using the word carries in football, because it is a team sport, and you are nothing without your teammates. Like no player is good enough to play on his own against 11 men. But the level of difference there would be if Real Madrid didn't have Benzema playing for them would be ridiculous. It reminds me of when Liverpool had Luis Suarez playing for them in that 2013-14 season. If Suarez doesn't play that season, Liverpool, well, they showed the next season, Liverpool went from 2nd to 6th. And I think this is a similar case with Benzema, because he is just that good at the moment. In fact, right now, this season, like from August to May, well, it's not May yet, it's April still, but August to April, he has been the best player in any league this season. I put him above Salah, because Salah's form over the past couple of months hasn't been at the level it was in October, November, December. So yeah, I'd give him player of the season for, European player of the season, if that is an award. I don't know if it is. But yeah, I mean, an absolutely great game to watch. I enjoyed every minute of it. It was just one of them games. And yeah, I can't wait for the second leg. But before that, there's obviously Liverpool v Villarreal tomorrow night. So I'm excited for that as well. But anyway, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.